Hi there! I would like to introduce my new app called Smart Support. It is an app dedicated to one problem I have with the inbuilt or Python-based pipe supports in AutoCAD Plant 3D. Let's look at how to install the app and how it can make your life a little bit easier. So after you have downloaded my app, simply just run the downloaded installer. I hit yes here and again yes for this confirmation message, and I just click on the install button here. Now the app is installed. You just have to restart Plant 3D if it's already running, or start Plant 3D. Once you start Plant 3D, you will see only one change, that you have an additional tab at the ribbon called Smart Tools. This is the only change what the app made. So if you click on it, you will be introduced with 5 new icons. The first 3 are the 3 functions of the app, and the fourth one is the settings for each function. The fifth one is showing some info regarding your license. And now I have to tell you that this license basically needs continuous internet connection, and that you are signed in with the account you use for the purchase on the Autodesk App Store. So in Plant 3D, you have to be signed in here, like I am right now, to use the app. It is not checking at every time. It only checks time to time to save some bandwidth and calculation power. But if you, for example, lose internet connection, you have a limited number of usage left for the app. So you will have a warning message that you have X amount of usage of the app itself, but it will disappear once you go back to the internet and you are signed into the App Store. This is the way it goes. Let's test it out, what it can do for you. So for example, if I draw a simple pipe and then I place 2 seemingly identical clamps, and I drag this one to be quite long, and I drop down this one to here to be a quite short one. So once I make bill of material, an isometric drawing, or anything, these 2 supports will be identical in Plant 3D. It doesn't matter if I need 2 meter long threaded rod for this support and 100 millimeter long threaded rod for this support. It doesn't matter for Plant 3D. These 2 supports will look identical, and there is no way, unless you are doing it by hand, to distinguish one from the other. So if I go to the properties, you can see that basically, even though I have 2 selected supports, basically all parameters are the same. So nothing is distinguished one from the other. Only the H parameter is different, as you can see from this part of the properties tab. But this H parameter is not shown anywhere, for example, in the long description or the short description, nowhere. So if you make a list, a bill of material, or you make isometric drawings, you will not know what is the actual height of the rod. So if you go to my Smart Tools app, let's go to the settings. So this is the settings page for the naming, which is changing the properties of the supports. So let's say I want to change the short description, and I want to change the long description as well. Okay? And the naming rule for the short description shall be, let's say I want to start the naming with the long description family. Okay? And I want to add the nominal diameter after it. So the short description will contains 2 parts, let's say, the long description family and the nominal diameter. And the separator between the items will be this sign. You also have preview screen here with a theoretical support. And you can see that according to these settings, the short description will look like this: GP30-ND80. Okay. So I want to change the long description size as well. So let's say I also want to start with the long description family. I also want to have the nominal diameter, and I want to add some parameters as well. Now, which parameters will be listed? Not all, because then it will be a very long one. At the bottom, you can see list the parameters you want to include in the generated names, separate with commas. So if I want to include the age, I just simply put age and nothing else and hit OK. Okay. Now I go to support properties, select objects. I just select everything. This function only changes the names of the supports, so you do not need to worry about proper selections. Just drag over all the supports you want to change and just hit the right mouse button. So if I click on this support and check the properties, you will see that the short description is changed to custom hanger -ND4, because this was the long description family, and the nominal diameter is added. And for the long description size, you even have the H value here. Let's check the other one. Same, only the H value is different now. So if you now make a list or an isometric drawing where you list out the long description size, you will see what the length of each clamp is. What is the height actually. So this is the, I think, very useful function of my app. This is the first button. This is what it does. Also, you can list multiple parameters as in the example. So for example, if I check what other parameters this support have, for example, I want to include the L value. Then I go here, comma, L, okay. And again, support properties, just hit enter. And if I go to the properties, you will see that the L value is also listed here. You can also change the separator. You do not need to use this dash. The other function of my app, called support list, creates a list of the selected supports. So this function doesn't change anything regarding the properties of the supports. It doesn't change the short description, doesn't change the long description size. It only creates a list. So let's check again the settings and go to the list tab. Here you can change the settings of the created list. What you want in the columns. For example, first column, I would like to have the long description family. Second column, let's say line number, even though I don't think I have line number now, but okay. Third, let's say nominal diameter. And fourth one, let's say the parameters, okay? Okay. Now, what parameters do I want? List the parameters you want to include in the generated columns, separate them with commas, or enter all. So you can do the same as before, like H and L. Now, an important thing, CSV separator. So usually Excel likes comma as the CSV separator. But for example, in Hungary, where I reside, it likes semicolon. Don't ask me why it is like that, but anyhow, you can change what is your separator for the CSV file. So you can change it here. By default, it is comma, because that is, I think, the most usual case. But for my example, it should be semicolon, because I'm using a Hungarian Excel. So let's say OK, and then create a list, support list. Again, select these two supports, right mouse button, and I will generate the list to my desktop test.csv. Let's open the created list. Here it is. As you can see, the column order is according to what we have set up. One thing, that the parameters H, L, whatever parameters you list, are in different columns. As you can see, H is here, L is here. One additional thing I would like to show is that you can also create a list where you enter all. This is a rather special case, because you can have so many different kind of parameters. I mean, you select 100 supports, which might have 10 different parameter names. So for example, one is using A, B, C, D, the other is using, I don't know, Q, W, E, R, T, and so on. So you would have so many columns. It is not working. So if you hit all, comma separator is semicolon, and hit OK, and create the list, you will see that all parameters are in one column with their names. So they are listed like this. There is only one column called parameters, and all their parameters are listed in this one column. Then you can list them you can create additional columns from this single column in Excel, but creating D, H, L, W, K, so on columns for each support types, it would be too messy. So this is how I solved this issue. So let's check what the support tag function can do. First of all, it utilizes two mostly unused fields in the properties window. These are the comment and the reference fields, and we will put automatically some parameters there and the running number there, and then we will ask Plant3D to use this comment and reference field as a part of the automatically generated tags. So this way all the tags will be automatically generated, and you do not need to worry about a running number or making the tags unique, and you will also have some important information regarding the supports there. For example, how high is the rod of a rod hanger support, for example. So let's see what you have to do in the project setup at first. Just right click on the project setup, wait for the big screen to load up, and go to the Plant3D DBG settings, Plant3D class definitions, piping and equipment, of course, pipe run components, and inside that to the supports, because eventually we want to edit the supports. So here is the tag format. If you do not have one, click on new. Right now I will just click on modify. So if I click on it, you will see that I already put 3 subparts here. The first one is the long description size. You can place this by clicking on this first button here and select long description size here and hit OK. You see? it is there. Long description size. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I have to go to the support and long description size. Okay, now it's okay. So the second one is the comment field. Basically, if I scroll down, this is this one, comment. And the third one is the reference. If I scroll down, this is the reference. So our tag will contain 3 subparts: the long description size, the comment, and the reference field. Hit OK and hit OK here. Now, I will draw a simple pipe here. Hit F8 to make it straight. I just insert pipe supports 3 hangers, I guess. This one. 1, 2, and 3. And I just increase this one to have a different parameter there. I don't remember, I think H, but I am not 100% sure what is the parameter, which is important in our case. So I click on it, you see H is the height of the rod. So that is, for example, changing every time. So that's why we want to include that in the tag, H. Okay. And what is the long description size now? Okay, it's very long. I don't want to use this very long description size, so I just select all these supports and change the long description size from this long something to custom hanger -4 for 4 inch. And this is okay. So theoretically now all supports have the same long description size. And you see the tag is already filled up because we already set up this tag format for Plant 3D. So all supports from now on will have this tag. It uses the long description size, but in the reference and the comment we have nothing right now. So that's why the question marks are there, comment and reference. And moreover, this tag number is not good because it's not unique. So all 3 now have the same tag, which is obviously not good for a tag in a project. So now we can go to the Smart Tools. Let's check the settings. Go to the tag. Now, add parameter to comment. Yes, I want to have a click on it, check on it, because I want to add parameters to the comment, and I want to add H. You can change it to L, L1, whatever parameter you want to include in the tag, or right now in the comment field. But I keep it as H. Also, you have modify if there is an existing comment. So you can choose not to modify if there is an existing comment, because that comment might be important for you. I don't know. But I have this option. If there is anything inside the comment and it is unchecked, then the comments will not be overwritten. But if it's there, the parameter will be overwritten. I think it's useful to be clicked in or used. I also wrote it recommended because the parameter values can change during the project, so it is always a good idea to keep them updated. But maybe you change something manually and you want to keep it, just uncheck it and it will not be overwritten. Okay. The second part is add running number to the reference. Yes, I want to add it, so click there. I want to have 3 digits. So it will be 001, for example. I don't want to add prefix, but you have the option to do that. Like, I don't know, P, and then it will be P001 at first. Okay. This option is check the uniqueness of the number in the whole project. So this is important regarding the tags. So this will check the whole project for every support if that number, that running number, is not already used in any support's reference field. So this way, if 001 is already used, then it will go to 002. If that is already used, it will go to 003, and so on. And overwrite if there is an existing reference. So this means renumbering. I don't know if you want to use that. Probably I would keep it off, because if I, for example, made a manufacturing drawing for the support, and I already wrote that this is the number 001 support, and I renumber everything, then it will be quite confusing. So that's why I keep this option off. So it means that if you select support which already have a running number, then the support tank function here will not override that number. It will keep it as it is. So let's see how it is working. Okay. So I just select support tag, select everything, and run it. So once I click on any of the supports and check the properties, I will see that it is beautifully filled in. The tag is the long description size, CH 4 inch, dash H 19.7, whatever. So it shows the height of the support, and it adds a running number, 007. So let's check this one. If I click on the properties, you will see that the H value is higher because it is a longer support, and the running number is 005 here because I already used 001, 2, 3, and 4. So that is the support tank function. I hope you will find it useful. So I think I showed all the functions of my app. Thank you for watching, and see you until next time.